Well, welcome to a series of poll hearings. I don't think there's any citizen participation. You still have the people fill things out if there's.
Yes.
All right, so we can skip that.
We still do.
Okay. All right. I think I had a thing here for this. All right, so we're gonna have a hearing. Call this meeting, or the hearing to order at whatever time it is, 5:33 or something, on February something. It's 18th? 17th, all right. Glad you're here. At the Council on Aging. So it's a public hearing regarding polls. I'm not gonna keep reading this for every poll hearing, but regarding poll, there's a notice that was sent out, published, posted, and mailed to all interested parties. And how you can confirm that all the notices have been met and all that kind of stuff. All right. So the purpose is to provide all affected persons an opportunity to present oral or written testimony, believe it or not, for this proposed poll placement. Everything will become part of the official record, so if you speak, we'll ask that you state your name. And if you're from National Grid, you'll tell us if you're from National Grid. And we may ask questions, and then we'll open up the floor to any questions that people may have. I think I'm not very worried about people making personal attacks, but that's what it says down here. So let's get started with the first public hearing, poll hearing concerning 107 New Ludlow Road. All right, come on up, say your name for the record. How many have you done now?
2. So I've done one since last time.
Since we saw you?
Yeah.
All right.
It's been slow.
It's okay. A lot of polls out there, huh?
No, not this time of year.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about 107 New Ludlow Road. I'll state your name and...
My name is Torrin Hamilton. I'm a distribution design engineer for National Grid. So 107 New Ludlow Road, we want to set a new midspan pole, 10-75, between existing poles 10-50 and 80. The purpose of the new pole is to set a new transformer for a solar installation at 107 New Ludlow Road.
Okay. Okay, and that's up toward South Street, so this is farther up there. Okay. Glenn, any questions?
No, I have a question.
All right. Is there anybody out there who has a question about this pole? No. Okay. All right. Let's deliberate on the evidence, Glenn. How do you feel about that?
I don't see that there's any issues. There's no public
I want to make it a
response
motion.
concerns about it, so I'll make a motion that we approve for National Grid to install the pole at 107 New Ludlow Road.
All right, I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. I'm not going to read the directions again, but the next poll hearing is on Chicopee Street. Go ahead, Torrin.
So this pole, we're proposing to set a new pole 14-50 between existing poles 14 and 15. This pole is for a new service to 92 Chicopee Street.
Glenn, do you have any concerns about this poll?
I do not.
God, I'm glad to see there's no bias here in poll placement in this case. All right. All right, so I forgot, we got to close the hearing. So, can we close the hearing? Motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public part of the hearing.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm trying to be like more formal. Okay.
Well, we can do them all. That's just some objection at some point.
I think
One of them.
some people are here from, is it West Street? Yep. Are you from West or Amherst or? Okay, and you folks? Amherst, okay. So we might as well just do them individually at this point, but, okay, so the next poll is at 79 Amherst Street.
We didn't vote on the other one.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion for National Grid to install a pole at 95, what's it?
92.
92 Chicopee Street. For the house that's being built there, and so. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll second that motion. All's in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good. Next up is 79 Amherst Street.
So National Grid is proposing to install a new stub pole for pole 24. So this would be 24-84. There's an old pole there with an existing tree guy, and we want to remove that.
Okay. I have no questions or comments. Anybody out there have a concern? Go ahead. Can you just state your name for the record and?
Yes, Pamela Munster. I live at 80 Elm Street.
Okay.
And from what I read, you run from 30 feet south with the new pole across the street, which is like right next to my property. And I just want to make sure that it's not going to be in the middle of my lot. I have trucks going in,
Sure.
you know, the septic tank and
Mhm.
parking and
All right, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so the 30 feet is including the road width as well. So the pole will probably be like 8 feet off the road, which is within town take. And when I was staking it out, it should just be in front of some forest. There was no driveways or anything, so.
because I own right up to the wood line, where the woods start. So if it's beyond that, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Comes into my property, I might have an issue.
Okay. Did you see any, did you guys put out the ribbons or the ties and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you happen to notice
I
those?
haven't seen anything, no.
All right,
I'm
so,
looking from my window and trying to judge
Yep.
where that pole's gonna go, you know.
okay, so it's gonna be in front of the woods or?
Yeah, it will, and it should be on, it'll be on town take, so.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing portion.
I'll second it. All's in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next one up is, we got two on West Street.
Hang on,
though.
hang on, we got a vote out, so
God,
moving quicker.
it's rough going here. I'm not used to these multiple votes. All
I'll make a
right,
motion to approve National Grid to install a post at, or pole at 79 Amherst Street.
second, all's in favor?
Aye.
Thank God you're here to keep me in line here. We'd have all these hearings and no votes. Okay, the next one up is West Street, but what, do we have the address for this one?
So one of them is 14, the other one's 100.
Okay, 100 is the next one.
Okay. So National Grid is proposing to install a new pole 26 on the north side of West Street and relocate existing pole 25 approximately 15 feet east to allow proper guying and to give room to remove an old tree guy. The proposed work will relocate the service line to 100 West Street and remove existing aerial trespass to 36 Kellogg.
Oh, so it's not even gonna be on West Street now.
Sorry?
It's gonna be on West Street or not be on West Street?
It will, yep.
All right, so I have no questions. Is somebody here to ask, Coach Dave?
According to this drawing, it looks like you're gonna put a pole in my front yard. Have the site certified in my yard.
Let me just pull up the,
The stakes in your front yard too?
Yeah, there's stakes in my front yard. So we put them there.
How far from the road?
Oh, we're probably 10, 15 feet in.
so,
Right in the middle of my front yard.
Okay.
And over the years, I'm these here from when I was before West Street.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've been here 62 years. They had a pole near my mailbox. They had it went down farther, about 20 feet
Yeah.
off the road by a big tree. Well, they moved that pole down the end of my property line because trucks would take the line down. And the pole at 100 West Street, the wire comes through from Kellogg Street, through the woods, and goes across the, I don't know why you just can't, you know, come off that pole still.
So Tori, can you explain what's up?
yeah, so the owner at 36 Kellogg won't sign an easement. There's not an existing one, so we can't keep our service line crossing his property. As for the pole location in front of 104, it's kind of a strange area. The town has a lot of take there. It's kind of offset from the road because of that, like, there's kind of like a dip off the road. But we don't set our poles more than 10 feet away from the road, so the poles are staked at like 6 or 7 feet away right now.
Yeah, but it's gonna be right in the middle of my property. There was a tree there, they took it down. Okay, it was fine, they took it down. Now you're gonna put a pole back where the tree was. It's gonna look like, garbage. I don't know why you can't put the pole on the other side of the guardrail on West Street.
That is still on 36 Kellogg. That's his
Yeah.
property.
Do you
Owns
have,
all that property?
Yep.
I thought the town owns that property.
No, the town owns like the other side of that road. If you, from the drawing here, just,
Yes,
so basically, if the road's more set towards like this side,
yes,
and the town has to take like all the way up to here.
Yeah, I
This
know.
is like 15, 20 feet.
yeah, I know, but you can put the pole right about here. Well, it's where it is, but it's, if you go by the property, it's gonna be right over here somewhere, in my property. Here's the boundary line right there.
So, and
I
this.
don't know, you can't put it on the other, you can't put it on the other side of the guardrail?
No, it's not possible, because this isn't the road, this is town take. The road is like here, on this side. The guardrail is basically right here. Anything on that side would be on his property.
You won't sign on
Nope. I tried.
is there anything we can do about moving that pole, like one way or another across this property or not?
Not really. It's a tough situation. I would have preferred to have kept the service line as it is, and on the other side there's transmission lines, so we can't come off that side either. Kind of the best with what we can do at the moment.
No, why can't you keep it where it is right now?
I mean, it's mostly that we have a policy where if we don't have an easement, so we don't have rights to be on someone's property, if they ask us to go off, we have to take our line down, basically.
There's currently a pole there, though.
Yeah.
There is a pole, we would remove that, yep.
Did he ask you to take off?
Yes, yep. And he, I think this job was from back in November, I want to say. And this job is from back in November, and we've been trying to get him to sign something, and
Oh,
he
I see.
won't budge.
So
Yep.
the homeowners asked for the pole to be removed.
Yes, yep.
How long has it been there for?
There's a big tree they cut, they limbed it, but it's got a guide wire holding the pole up, and it holds all the poles on the street up.
And that's the reason for the relocation of 25. We're trying to remove that tree guy from it.
Yeah.
How long has that pole been there for?
It's hard to say, but a previous electric company said it, so a long time.
A long time.
Yep.
Been there 62 years, it's been there since,
Yep.
since I've been here.
And you can't find an easement anywhere.
Mr. Bombardier?
Well, in a case like this, there's at least, since you're a stakeholder that really cares about it,
Yeah.
and these gentlemen all have a hard time getting permission to keep the pole there. Are you in a spot that you could talk to your neighbor and say, gee, all I'd like to do is just keep that there? Is there any reason why we can't do it? And just say, we don't want to get a whole big easement and take stuff from your property. All I want to do is leave what's there. Are you in a spot that you could talk to?
I could talk to them.
Because if you could do that, you got neighbors dealing with neighbors instead of selectmen dealing with people and companies dealing with people.
Well, I'd spoken to him once already, and he had, when I talked to him, which was when this all started.
You don't have to explain to me.
Anyhow, I
I'm just
talked to him,
giving
I had
that
spoken to
idea.
him briefly, and he seemed not to have a problem.
Yeah,
And all
since you're
I
not
have
asking
to
for
do-
anything else.
Where that pole is now, is trim a couple branches, so I can make it on a little more of an angle.
How do you close it to make sure, you got a man that's trying to do something, a group that's got a hearing? Is there a way, how do you close it? Do you say you're gonna get back for the next meeting? And
I think we don't approve it, but I also, do we continue
We'd have to continue it.
the hearing?
We can continue it and give an opportunity to the neighbors to speak to one another, see if they can come to an agreement. If not, then the board's gonna have to make a decision on it, so.
Yeah, 'cause,
So you want to make a motion to continue the hearing?
We can make them, sure. I'll make a motion to continue the hearing at this time. Well, we set a date, our next meeting, which is March 2nd. March 2nd, and
I won't be, I have to go to Boston to
Do you think you can talk to your neighbor
take
between?
surgical doctor.
between now and then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all you need to do, and then he'll let National Grid know whether or not it's a yes or no. If it's still a no, then we'll listen to the hearing again.
Can I give you my contact info?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so I'll second the motion to continue until March 2nd, is that what you said?
Yes, why
Yep.
don't we, actually, why don't we reverse that? I'll
Okay.
make a motion to close the public part of the hearing.
Okay. I'll second that. All those in favor of closing the public part of the hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll
And,
make a motion to continue, actually, no, I will not close the meeting, because we want to continue it, so
Yep.
we'll save the first one. So we'll continue the meeting until, as we first discussed, until March
So-
2nd.
so we want to void the first.
We'll actually void the second one, we'll keep the first one, which is to continue this until March 2nd meeting. At that time, we'll have a discussion with National Grid and find if they want to move forward with it.
All right, so I just want to be clear as to what we're doing, so Holly can write it down.
Right, so we close the public piece, but we're also going to continue this to another date for us to make a decision.
So, okay, so we're not going to entertain more public
Right,
comment at
right.
that point?
And the only thing we're going to listen to is, at that point, be from National Grid, whether or not the people on that property says, yes, I'm okay with you putting the pole here, or no, I'm not. So at that point, I think that's the only thing we're going to talk about at that point, as far as the board.
Okay. Do we need any more votes? We're good with continuing the
I think we're-
hearing?
I think you both can vote to continue
We
it,
can
so.
vote
Yep.
to continue it
All right.
to March 2nd.
All right, good.
We'll do it at 5:30 too, just so.
Lauren,
Stay
will
consistent.
they email me and let me know? Do you have Vincent that you know?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, because we will have to make a decision at the next meeting, but you don't have
Yes.
to be here.
So,
All right, okay, and finally, West Street, 14 West Street.
Yeah, so National Grid is proposing to move existing pole 7 approximately 16 feet west. This is to get the pole in line for the 3-phase tap. I believe this is going to a town building at 14 West Street.
It is part of the West Street building project.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, I don't have any concerns, some of you go ahead. Questions?
I do not, I don't know if the public does, but I don't.
All right, anybody out there have questions about moving this pole to West Street, 14?
I'll make a motion that we close that part of the hearing at this time, the public input.
All right, I'll second that, all those in favor?
Aye. And I'll make a motion that we approve for National Grid to install a pole at 14 West Street.
Okay, I'll second it, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you for coming to our poll hearing.
Thank you for your time.
You're getting better all the time, too. You're
I
really
appreciate it.
getting sharp. Do you put that on your resume? It's like poll hearing?
I should, right?
Yeah. Get it up, build it up there. All right. So next up is the Fire Building Department inspection fees, electrical and plumbing inspector pay. Mr. Quinlan, come on up. All right. Chief Bryant, come on up.
Sorry I didn't get this to you so soon. I'm just talking about the highlighted stuff.
All right.
So just, this is our inspection fees from 7/1 of 2022. The food trucks, it says $25 for a permit and $50. I just want to make it flat $50. No, not $75, just flat $50. And then it's $150, but the 100 is for building and 50 was for fire. I just want to make it 100 for building, 100 for fire for our quarterly annual inspections. And then down below, our fire detail, I just want to go by the union contract at $57.
Okay. Do you know where your permit fees are set? Like, are they set at town meeting or not set at town meeting?
No, I think they're set by you guys.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know in my previous in Hadley, it was set by the select board. If we
Yeah, I don't
wanted
think we,
Because we did, we set the building permit fees last time.
Say what?
We set the building fees, permit fees.
Yep.
Select board does.
We'll get to that one. All right,
I don't know if this is different, but we set the
okay.
permit
Do
fees for building.
you want to make a motion or have questions?
So is there an increase, or?
No, the only increase would be $50 for the quarterly annual inspections for the fire side, because building's already 100.
Okay, and that's currently,
It's 150, so 50 for fire and 100 for building. So we just make it a flat 100, 100. And the only increase would be the detail at the bottom, and that's because of the union contract. And then we'd actually go down with the food truck inspection from 75 to 50, just make it a 50 flat rate.
no, so we're going down and we're going up, kind of,
Yeah,
so meeting in the middle.
yeah.
All right.
Are we ready?
I'll make a motion to increase the food truck inspection from $25 to $50. And then the quarterly annual inspection from $150 to $100 for building and $100 for fire. Is that correct?
Yeah, so building's already 100.
Oh.
It would just be for fire.
All right, so the fire is going to just be 100, which is currently 150.
It's 50 for, they have both of ours together.
Okay, all right.
So that's what kind of confused me at first too, when I looked at this. That's why I want to clean it up.
So the actual piece right now is, it's combined
Yeah,
for $150.
Yep.
So we're actually gonna separate it. Building is gonna be 100 and fire is gonna be 100
Yeah.
for inspection, for quarterly inspection.
Mhm.
We'll try to build together, make it easier for the, businesses of that, but
Okay,
that's standard or low from, most communities, so.
all right. So my motion is correct in that point. And also make a motion to increase the fire detail, fire watch oversight from $42 to $57, and that is per the union contract
Yep.
anyway, so. Okay. Motion.
Okay, I'll second that. All's in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Quinlan.
So first thing, it's not on the little outline here, was, which I think was all set, but while Mr. Bombadier's here, the online payment. It looks like the chief has spoke with the treasurer, and we're gonna move forward with that sooner than later, because right now, the applicants have to still mail in the checks. And plumbing and electrical can be very tough, because they don't have to do it online like building.
Okay.
So I don't have that on there, but it looks like that's in the works.
Yeah, Mr. Nally finally got some stuff caught up, so I was trying to work on
Yep,
that. He's got the contact information for the software company, and they're trying to work out the logistics of the moving the money around.
He's been swamped for months at this point,
Yep.
so, all right, good.
Yeah. Next thing would be a question on the insurance, because the alternates, plumbing and electric are all 1099. They're subcontractors.
Yep.
So I've already spoken to the chief about this as well. He hasn't had time to, just today, I think, on it.
I didn't.
So, yeah, you did have time, okay.
I don't have a definitive answer, which we'll have, but it looks like it's okay. There are two things that it fell under. One is Massachusetts tort law or something like that. I talked to town council today, so he did not see that it would be a liability issue. I will get a more definitive, opinion on that, but he didn't think so. I hadn't talked to Chris to find out exactly why.
What's the question here?
1099 is independent contractor tax form. So
Okay.
we have all our inspectors on 1099s, which, one of the things it means is they have to do their own taxes, right? We
Well,
don't
they
take,
have their own taxes
Right.
anyway. That just means we don't take out
we don't
taxes
withdraw,
for them.
yeah.
So
that's-
the questions would be, and both inspectors have checked to pay themselves to make sure they're covered, first off, for the liability on inspection or whatever, never mind the workman's comp if they were to fall or get injured on the inspection, just something that saying they are covered under the town. Same with the alternates. When I was an alternate, we're 1099, didn't think anything of it, but it's just been brought up to check on, the insurance part of it.
Yeah.
Most people that are 1099 self-insured for themselves. Don't they insure themselves?
That's,
Not for
and
the
it
town,
wouldn't
no.
be worth being an inspector with what they've looked into. They know better on the amounts. Would be the only problem with that. So we're just checking on it.
Paying liability insurance when you get $35 for an inspection is, I mean, I wouldn't drive across
Right.
town for $35.
Well, a lot of
and I-
people do it as a second job. It's not really their livelihood. Meaning it's not what they do full-time. I mean, they would do it full-time in Granby. I mean,
So, I've worked on, even as a local inspector in a lot of communities, this is the only one I was ever just 1099. It was always, even as an alternate, they take out, and I don't know what it comes to, every town's probably different, but, 33% is put away, for the comp to cover you, or, based on what they're paying you in that, in case something like said would happen, and to be able to protect them legally. And that would be up to the board, of course, to do that.
Yeah, I'll check with Chris on that.
Okay.
I don't know the rationale behind the 1099s. I mean, I suppose it makes it easier for the town. I'm a 1099 right now myself, so I'm like,
Yep.
every time I spend money, yeah, it's a pain in the neck.
for the town?
No, for me, I have another
Oh,
job that is a 1099,
Oh.
and yeah, you gotta do taxes. If you get a check, you have to keep all the stuff back, and it's.
Because they've actually
I know
looked
it
in,
works.
so, yeah, explain what it would be.
So with the electrical, Art is retired, so he has no other job to cover liability. He inspects roughly about 7 months out of the year, so he may make enough to purchase his. I fill in for him when he leaves for winter. The amount of inspections that I make would not even cover the liability insurance if I bought it. So for me, it would be basically not worthwhile for me to stay on as the inspector.
but I guess you had a conversation with Brian, but even though that they're 1099, they're still an employee of the town. They just happen to be a 1099 employee.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping. I mean, that's just some type of proof, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still an employee of
Yep.
the town, you just happen to be a 1099.
Town council did not think that you would be liable, or that you would,
Yeah.
or be independent, so if you got hurt on the job, you're doing a job for the
You're
town.
still hired by the town. The only difference is
We can work on getting something.
We'll get you a more definitive answer, just to like ease your mind.
That's all.
Yeah, just
But-
because you're a 1099 employee does not mean you're not covered by,
Right, you're still acting as an
Because,
agent of the
you're still
town.
employed by the town.
One of the things you get
Right.
into when you're telling the difference between an employee and a contractor, are you you're doing what the town tells you to do, you're following town rules. It's a legal issue, but it's not. So, when I talked to Brian today, he did not think it was a problem, but I think you guys should have a definitive answer, just so to ease your mind.
Thank you. And then next was, and I'll let them discuss it, is the increase for their inspections and how they propose or are asking for.
Okay.
First. I'm Mike McCain, plumbing and gas inspector
Yep.
in town. So in June, our rates were voted on to be increased, and you guys voted on it and increased them. And so with that being done, our rates are right where every other towns are. They're pretty much in line. I think they're at a good price. But I'd like to see a pay increase for the amount of work we're doing with our new computer system. It's adding workload. I've been here since 2018, and I'm getting the same rate I was in 18. I understand about 12 years before that, from Fred, the last inspector, he hadn't seen a raise. So we're going on 20 years on $35 an inspection. You just said yourself you wouldn't drive across town for $35. Well, I gotta drive across town 3 times tomorrow for $35. It's the lowest I could find in any surrounding town. I back up a neighboring town as just an alternate, and I make more there per inspection than here. With the rates being increased last June, I don't know why it's not coming out of the town's budget, it'd be coming out of our fees. So basically, for the last 6, 7 months, the town's been making excess money off the plumbing and gas department.
Okay, so, so you're plumbing, you're still only getting 35, right? Or you're getting more now?
We're only getting more. No, we're only getting $35 an inspection. That's
Okay.
what we're paid.
And part of my fault when we came forward with the prices last time, Mr. Mary and I didn't speak about, changing their fees or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's both our, you know what I mean, just didn't think about
it
it.
makes sense.
Yes,
It's
right.
not, it's definitely not a fault.
And then in December, Fred abruptly quit. So I went from being an alternate, which I did 50% of them, he did 50% of them, to being thrown into the full-time. It's gonna be more work for me.
Yep.
And just at that point, I'd like to get up to where the neighboring towns are.
Okay, Mr. Bombardier?
With Mike, we're in a little bit of a dilemma. Two boards. The board of this plot right now is actually kind of the wrong board to talk for Mike, because the plumbing inspector and gas inspector actually end up reporting to the Board of Health. And so there's a problem with the administration of it, that the Board of Health has the budget to pay the plumbing inspector. And Tom is really done a really great job of trying to take all of these inspectors and permits and all get them in one place to make it so that the tradesmen and the town people can deal with this in a rational way. One of the big problems that Fred had, the former plumbing inspector, was as this transition was coming, the payment part, and in fact Mike has had a big problem with it. And as Kevin's talked about, that's going to get taken care of. When I talked to Mike about that payment, that actual managing the payment part of it was taking more than the amount of the inspections we're doing. So that's a big problem that was going to end up costing us, Mike. We're going to end up with no plumbing inspector. So at this point, we still have the problem with who pays the fees and we still, the Board of Health still appoints Mike. It's not through Tom and through your board. But we will together manage that. But for the short term, there's another issue, is that the Board of Health members work for the Board of Health doing inspections. And so town meeting every year has a warrant article that allows that to occur. So we can pay, the Board of Health can pay itself $35 an inspection. But as part of that warrant, it says we can take our inspectors and also pay them $35 an hour on inspection. So
Hour would be so bad.
So we end up with a problem as you actually ended up setting the plumbing inspector fees. So that as Mike is saying, those fees were taken care of, so that the income coming to the town is straightened out. However, we've got, if we raise these fees, we will end up with a Board of Health with a budget problem, which shouldn't be a problem. In the past, when this kind of thing has happened, you would end up dealing with the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee has their little slush fund, and I call it a slush fund. It's not, that's just what I call it. It's not the real name for it. But,
Thanks.
and they certainly don't like it when you come along and spend their money and not tell them it's happening before it happens. But typically, the Finance Committee will say, we understand that it's not something that's making our budget go out of whack. The town budget is a board budget because the money's coming in. So that doesn't become a problem. The problem would come out, and if after the 1st of July, I talked to Chris Martin, and Chris would write a warrant article that makes it so that the plumbing inspector's fees would be correct, and we'd do it so it's not tangled up with the Board of Health fees all being the same. But my suggestion to deal with that between now and July 1st would be to look at the function of the plumbing inspector And there's actually two very different functions that Mike has got. He's got the in-the-field plumbing inspector function. And that's an inspection that we're probably right now, because of that town meeting article, that fee is set at $35. However, the administrative function is very different. If we had the right people in the board office, if we had Colleen with the right skills and the right time, that function would be a function that Mike wouldn't be doing at all. And so now we've looked at it, our restaurant inspection and housing inspection person has got exactly the same problem. And that we're losing them and it can't get someone else. So what we did is, I talked to Chris about it, and we said that function is this different function. It's a big paperwork function, and saying within reason, you could look at it and say it's essentially another inspection kind of activity. And so it turns out the number that Mike is looking and Tom is looking at happens to be $70 per inspection for the big inspection part. So as I looked at it, I said, gee, at least until July comes, if we split those two functions up and said, you know, Mike, when you go out on a job, you've got this prep work you've got to do, you've got the paperwork that follows up with it, and saying, okay, you've got that, we're gonna pay you the $35 for going out to do the inspection, but we're gonna pay you for one other inspection kind of activity as part of that bigger project. We're not paying Colleen to do that. We'd be paying you to do that. So it ended up that Mike would essentially be doing the same job. We'll get rid of, by dealing with Steve and getting the payment part fixed, that makes it so that Mike gets rid of this terrible, terrible part that's worse than the plumbing part. And then we end up with a pay that comes out being about where he belongs, and it looks like it fits with what the town meeting has said we could do. And then, so the only thing we would have to do is, you would have to be the bridge with the finance committee and say, hey, this is coming, we know what's coming, it's managed, and it's not a surprise. But that's the way I would be trying to manage.
So I spoke to
that.
town council. It was a 2-attorney day.
Yeah.
I like 0-attorney day, sorry, Lynn, but I talked to town council. He was not on board with that
He's
at
not,
this
huh?
time. It's not a no, because the inspection fees are set by like law stuff, where like you can't just randomly define an inspection the way you want it to do what you want. So yeah, so we're going to take it under advisement. Again, we'll address it with town council and see, because lawyers. Mike, we appreciate the work you're doing.
So one thing I was thinking of was, the electrical inspectors are already paid by a percentage of the permits they bring in. And they're getting 70% of the permit fees. And if I do the math on all my permit fees throughout the year, that's right where I would want to be. So isn't the precedent already set that you guys are paying the electricians that way?
Frankly, I think you should get what you deserve, and I think you deserve what you're saying. The way money gets spent in town, you have to go to town meeting. Town meeting appropriates the money through an article. We often don't pay that much attention to these articles because we do it through the consent motion, I think. So I was reading the article today, Article 2B, Section C, and it gives you the language. So what happens is, I completely agree with what you're saying, and I want you to make more money because I don't want Granby to be like this. But we got to kind of do the legal part first. So I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no. well, I kind of started to make that pitch with Brian today because Dick had brought that up with me. So we're not done with that issue, but I can't give you a decision tonight.
I've got the other way around it.
You're gonna pay out of your pocket?
No, I don't pay it out of yours, you've got 2 jobs, you can get one.
You can sit here right now, you can have this job.
No, the plumbing inspector has got a funky way of looking at plumbing inspections. And if you look at the way he's doing it now, is that they're looking at a multi-faceted job as one inspection. And in reality, he's going in and doing inspections of multiple things. That clearly, when you look at the way this article is written at town meeting, it talks about an inspection, and it doesn't, if you're doing inspections of toilets or inspections of drains, and there are all different, that clearly there are different inspections there. So you, instead of saying we're gonna look at the inspections of all of these things as one thing and try to do it with the paperwork is separate, don't do it that way. Instead, let's look at it and tell Mike, go in and break your inspections down in a way that you say, I'm going out there, I could do it at 2 different times, or so I'm gonna do it at one time, but it's different inspections. And then that one, he could say, I inspected this and I inspected that.
Yeah, and that was something we'll run by Brian, because basically town council is your first, it's kind of like court, like, so he decides on things. I've been telling Tom since September, I thought you guys should get more money.
The other problem I see that's gonna happen, and I'm only mentioning it, I know you said this is gonna take time, but this is gonna rear its head sooner than later. The town has no backup plumbing and gas inspector right now. And you cannot attract one.
No.
You're not gonna find one. So, I don't know what the town's plan is if I go on vacation. I don't know what the town's plan is if I get sick. I guess it's my problem to find someone.
No,
I
the town's
can't.
problem.
I can't get someone for $35 inspection.
No, it's,
So,
yeah.
I'd like to know what the town's side of it is. If I resign tomorrow, what's your backup plan?
Well, that's why I'm here saying, we just went through the first guy who's gone because of this.
Yeah.
And the second,
No, I completely agree with you. I think we're all on the same page about where we want to get to.
so it's not something that we can say.
It's not
I would rather walk out of here saying,
we're not gonna walk out of here saying anything.
well, we can't. What happens, that's the bad part of the relationship we've got right now, is that the Board of Health can, in fact, you guys set the fees, but the Board of Health.
Town meeting sets the fees.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, one is the plumbing fee, one is the inspection fee, they're 2 different fees.
Okay.
So the fees I was talking about are the permit fees, you guys set that. You and Tom set it. Board of Health didn't set that.
So
You guys, somebody in Tom's world,
I think prior probably the Board of Health did, but you do the gas. You know, that's always, lately we've been trying to, communities have tried to get everybody together and work with the Board of Health, which we do, work very well together, and get them the same, so they're on the same sheet, the same amount and all. And that's why, with their permission, I brought the increase last time in front of the board, to keep
so
them the
you guys
same.
inadvertently set those, and that's okay. Somebody did.
It's town meeting. It's
No.
Article
no.
2B, Section C.
Those are inspection payment fees as compared with the homeowner taking a permit fee. The town meeting does not set permit fees. The town meeting set payment.
Inspection fees.
Inspection.
And inspection agents of the Board of Health, which the plumbing inspector would be.
Right, but those are not the plumbing permit fees. So somehow the plumbing permit fees have been increased, and Tom did that, and he did it through you guys. But it doesn't matter, that's where it happened.
So regardless, I think what Mark's saying too is that he spoke with town council. And
I understand that.
and what we're waiting to do is hear from town council, so we move in the right way. The last thing we want to do is make the wrong decision that wasn't legal, and then we're in a totally different spot at that point in time.
So, but at this instant, I'm gonna take it back into the Board of Health, because it's the Board of Health budget, and we're the ones that okay his payment. And what you should do right now, I'm advising, is to say, this is not our budget right now. What you do for your payment, Board of Health, with the plumbing inspector, you better deal with however you're gonna deal with it, but caution me as being here, saying, Dick, don't just go and change those fees, because the town council has already said, this is not a clear slam dunk, go ahead and take care of it. Dick, you and at least today, your group, your Board of Health group and your plumbing inspector, get your act together. You guys have set some permit fees, so that's income to the town. This is fees, this is money going out of the town as salary, that the Board of Health has the responsibility to get in touch with Brian and say, hey, how are we gonna be doing that?
What the Board of Health does is up to the Board of Health.
That's-
I spoke with the town council today, and I'd be going against town council's advice if I did anything other than take this issue under advisement.
No, you can take it under advisement, but the Board of Health has to get its act together and say,
So-
you're appropriately saying, Board of Health, just don't tell this guy he's gotta double he's got $70 on inspection.
You guys are elected
Okay.
board, so you can do whatever you
I
think
know, and we're
is.
not, and I appreciate that you've done that work. When we talked, I didn't look at it, I'm just verbalizing it right
Yeah.
now, saying this is where we had cautioned Tom when we started this, saying, you know, it's not gonna be very long before we end up with the inspectors being in one place and then budgets being someplace else, and that it's not gonna
So-
be very clear.
So
and
just
clean.
to move this meeting along,
Yeah.
Mark has been in communication with town council. That will continue. Mark has said that he supports an increase in the inspection fee. Not that, what you would receive. I support that too. I think if the town has taken in more money for the inspection permit fee, we should be paying the inspector more. And it sounds like there's more work involved now than before anyways, with the processing of all the information to put that into a system. So, again, and I just say that, let us do our part, Mark to continue his conversation with town council, so we can move
But you
forward.
still have the electrical
Well,
guy
with both,
you're
I mean,
dealing with separately.
but we want to make sure on both issues that we're moving forward appropriately. Again, just like yourself, we're part-time boards. We're not going to stay up here and start making decisions without information from our town councils.
I wish I was a part-time board.
So
So
one thing
we
though,
are-
when
we
you
are
talk to
moving
council
forward.
is gas always is under building. You know, that's kind of why we
Yep.
work together to do it, so just, he probably knows that, but just, you know, tell him that part, how there's all, can be
Yeah.
confusing.
So one way or another, Dick, you can call Brian and
I will. I will call.
get that end straightened out.
I'll do it.
And I'll talk to him, and, because he said take it under advisement, and which means can't make a decision tonight, but that we're gonna work on it. And I want you to get the money that you deserve.
I'll give Brian a call tomorrow.
So, it's,
We'll figure out a solution.
the idea that we're paying somebody $35 to do something, I mean, to look at somebody's car is like $50. That's not even with the oil change. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Just
Chief?
real quick.
There's a lot of people in the world that don't make
I just want
$35
to
an
say
hour.
real quick, so I haven't met the gas inspector, but I've called him and talked to him on the phone, and we've sent pictures, and he's been a really good resource for me, being the new chief here, and helping me. And with the electrical inspector, we've had emergencies, I've actually had to call him out in the middle of the night, so working with these guys is great, and I
fully know you guys will do the right thing for them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question that we want to support you. It's just how we're going to support you is the question. That's what we need to answer. And I appreciate you staying on when the other person left, and you obviously stayed on, and you're dedicated to that, because let's be honest, you could just picked up and said, I don't want to do this, I don't have time to do this. So we appreciate that moving forward. We just got to find the right avenue to move forward with it.
Yeah, if I had a campaign slogan right now, it'd be like, no Maryberry RFD, which probably doesn't mean anything to the younger people, but those of us who grew up with Andy and Opie Taylor realize that Mayberry RFD is a different way of doing things, and I don't want to be doing that. I want to bring us into like the 21st century.
Also to keep in mind, this is it's not short term, but we're in February, and that for sure what's going to happen is, when I talked to Chris this week,
Yep.
he said, make sure we do this so that we get the right warrant article. So in terms of Mike, this is an issue that we'll try to work on and get fixed right away. But knowing the 1st of July, it will be fixed. That's not going to be an issue. So.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
Right, thanks.
Now we're on to the electrical.
Okay.
We are looking to increase our fees and make them the standard fee across the board. I believe Art Chesney came in front of the board, I want to say probably about a year ago, and got certain fees increased from the $50 fee to the $60 permit fee. And with this new system, again, we're spending much more time on the system. Plus, our fees are all over the board. For instance, a single-family dwelling is $150 for 3 inspections, which equates out to that $35 an inspection. Whereas if we went out for an inspection for a sign, it's $60. So if you break them down per inspection, we're 50, 60, 75. What we'd like to do is just get them as $70 per inspection across the board, which would raise our per inspection fee from $35 to $49. And then it would be standardized. So if somebody called me on the phone when I'm out in the field, I can just say, okay, what are you doing? And then I can think about how many inspections I'd make and then just shoot them a number.
Okay.
So that when they go online, they know what to input in the online system as well. And then as part of putting these fees into the computer system, we would like to incorporate the $12 fee into the total cost. Electricians are questioning this $12 fee. Where's it going? And so forth.
Okay. My question is, like, are we able to just raise this? That's where
I believe it was a town council. I have been sort of fee increased once before with a different town council, and the town council is the ones that have approved the fees. There was no other boards that are involved with us because we fall under building, and I believe the building falls under the select board.
Right, so it was, Damon had done it from the 50 to 60, say, 2 years ago. And then before I had all set these, that was the big thing, to make sure everybody was happy and set before we set them into the program. And you know, so I came in front, and Art had gone through these, and now the way they're proposing, and they worked on it together, Art and Bruce, and it's gonna be a lot simpler. We'll put the $12 part of it, so it'll be cut and dry. There's no questions on why is there a plus. Most towns have that, or you'll see in my, you know, I don't wanna jump to mine, but I did do probably 5 different communities, and they all do the same, you know, 10,000 plus, say, $42 or $52, things like that. That's how most of them do it, but I think as far as clearing it up, if it's $60 plus 12, we'll do it $72. You know, make it cut and dry for right on the. I think the program would be easier for them to put that
Yep.
in as well. The only reason the 12's kept separate is what we pay them for the program, and that's just taken separately.
What is that plus 12 for anyway?
That's what they charge.
Is what Permit Link
And-
charges.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's a free, it'll be free moving forward at this time, instead of paying them a 10,000 a year or 4,000.
Yep,
We worked the deal that,
They pay per-
the grant paid for it.
Yep.
Originally, we even got all the historical set into it the last 10 years, which is the first community I was able to do that. It's not 100%, but it is pretty good. If you look up, permit 6 years ago, you actually can find it, the public can find it on there. And then moving forward, it would just be, it was 10, and then 2 years ago, they went up to 20% in the communities that do it that way to 12, so we did it. So, looking at mine after, and I know it hasn't even been a year, prior administrator wanted myself as well to come in, and just have you review them again. We'll do the same thing with those. And I did do a chart just showing, mine, I gave some examples. The houses across the board, a new construction, new addition and all, so I, we don't even have that as an example. It's the same as, that was corrected last time to match every other community. And it ended up coming out to the same anyway, if the realistic figure was put in by the applicant. We had done examples of that, so that, I don't want to jump off the, but you see a roof, most towns are the 10 1,000, plus like a $42 fee instead of the 12. So we're 72, and then you'll see the one windows that was, the roof, window, siding, it would be 3 times the 72, so our fee would be $216. And to give the two examples, if you were just a straight $10, 1,000, like most are, with the $12, that's what it would be, and then, a lot of them are $42 or $52, not 12. So just gave you those examples to think about for, when we come back. Didn't expect anything now, just to look at.
Okay. So we're not voting on anything right now.
Well, that's up to you, but any other community, and last time, and I believe when Damien came in, it was determined by the board, the fees. When it gets into the plumbing part, that can be different. The only other town I worked at, the Board of Health was actually doing the plumbing, was Hadley, and they didn't want anything to do about it, so I don't even know legal if it was done right. They just said, switch it over to the building. He answered to that department all the time anyway.
Okay.
But it's nice to work together. It's nice to have, them
Yeah, I'm
there,
glad
so.
that's working out.
Right, wouldn't want to take it away since they want to keep it, or work together.
Yeah. They would probably give it up for that matter. Do you have any thoughts, Glenn? Or?
I just want to review this, and not going to vote on anything tonight.
Okay. So we're gonna take this under advisement.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, we're looking to do a fee increase for the per mileage. We've been at 40 cents a mile forever. And
Plumbing's the same, but
the Mass IRS allotment is 72 cents per mile. So
Okay.
we're looking to basically just go from the 40 cents a mile to 70 cents a mile.
I think the 40 cents for some reason is federal.
It-
It's way low for whatever
Yeah,
reason. I don't know why they decided to use that, but that's what I think the federal number is.
Yeah, I was wondering if you are speaking with council, just to ask them, because any other community that you get the mileage, every year it was sent out. What the state, I thought it was mandatory what had to be paid. Now, I would be different because it's in a contract, so whether or not that's, you can set it in a contract separate, but, being, a subcontractor like they are, I'll just give Hadley one as an example. Every year it came out 65, 68, or this year it would have come out to 72, and a town can pay more, but I was always under the understanding that they had to pay that amount, but I could be
I
wrong.
mean, I can't imagine you have to pay it.
They're asking for 70
Theoretically, I don't
regardless.
think you would
Right.
have to pay it at all. I mean, I'm not saying that we should do that.
Right.
But
Yeah, I kind of saying that with the Commonwealth.
And they're not saying, they just were hoping to go to
No,
70,
but I
yeah.
guess you're saying the Commonwealth dictates what you paid per mile?
So when I read it, I did Googled it a little bit, and it was listed as the IRS is saying you can pay more, but it was a $72 fee. I mean, a 72 cent set fee this year, which I think was 68 last year. I'm not 100%. But regardless, I just, might be for the town's liability just to see
Alright.
from council what they say.
To maybe able to pay up to, because that's maybe what you can claim. maybe, I mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not how
That's
that
what
all
I'm
works,
wondering, if that's
but
different than like, you know, the public sector that I can pay you up to 72 cents per mile because as a business, when I do my taxes, I can claim that I paid up to 72 cents a mile. I don't know if that.
well, I know like as a business, you could, how that works, like you do a mileage or you can actually keep track of your gas, you know,
I mean-
your vehicle payments and all that, right? So
Yes, the increase basically is to help cover some of this additional gas costs that we're incurring.
Yeah, I mean, I can find out what the
as well as some of
Commonwealth
the wear and tear.
allows
right.
for that.
Yeah.
Again, I support it, so.
Yeah. And then towards the bottom of our fee sheet, basically looking for a 1 hour payment per week for some of the time spent on permit length. In the past, when Damien was here, we used to go to the building department and sign all of the permits, review and sign everything in-house. And we actually ended up getting one permit fee when we came to the office to take care of that, which usually lasted anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes. So again, we're just kind of looking for a little bit to offset some of the extra time that we're spending.
I'm trying to figure out how to, I don't think we can vote on it for today just because I don't even know what I'm talking about.
it's better to think about it anyway. Yeah.
I mean, I support you guys. You can,
Under advisement, I mean,
Yeah.
this is why we come and have these discussions.
I mean, I think you guys need to get paid at least market rate, you know, whatever's happening in the other towns. And I don't know, people deserve to get paid what they're worth and the job that they do.
Yeah, there's, let me go to my table. There's 3 or 4 towns that are more costly than Granby with our fee increases. And then there's 3 towns that are less costly than our fee increases. For instance, Granby for a new home is $150. Sunderland is $300. Pelham is $250. Ludlow is $250. Belchertown is $200. South Hadley is $165. Southampton is $160, and Palmer is $100. So we're on the bottom end of the scale, if not under the scale,
Yeah.
of neighboring towns.
Communities that we're most comparable with are definitely
Yeah,
getting a lot
and we
more.
try to, when Art and I do come for fee increases, we try to pull in a half a dozen towns that are almost equal to the town of Granby and see where they're falling, where we're falling, so that we can kind of adjust accordingly,
Okay.
and not be too far above the average.
Right, yeah, so next steps, I gotta talk to town council, we'll figure out what's going on there.
We can actually just have town council come to a meeting so that all the board members can hear it from.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a decent amount of, I can't even explain this, so, but,
No, but to that point, I think that's why it's important that town council comes here, because if we're gonna start talking about voting on certain things,
yeah.
I think David and myself should be hearing it from
No,
town
definitely,
council.
no, I don't mean to, yeah, take that over. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it as expeditiously as possible. I don't know, well, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, thank you.
thank you, and we appreciate your work, I know it's,
Want to set a date to
For not
come
much
back,
money.
or-
no,
we'll
check
see.
with Brian first.
See what Brian's availability is, and then we'll go from there, so. So we'll figure it out, right?
Yep, hopefully. I've been here since '95 as the alternate. And per inspection back then was $17.50. 95. So we haven't gone up much.
So either we charge,
since 95.
either we charge too much in 95, or we're not charging enough now.
It's funny, I did some checking too, and across the board, I went to plumbing and electrical, and there's one community that the town takes 15, and they take everything that's left to plumbing and electrical, and you get a commercial building, you know, $6,000. They're getting all but $15. It's crazy, you know. Then others, there's, you know, 60. There's West Hampton, it was 50, you know, basically like that. you know, for inspection. So it's all over with that too.
Like, I mean, so we kind of compare ourselves to South Hadley or Ludlow, and it sounds like we're right
Belcher Town, yeah.
About right up the ballpark, we're not far off.
Yep.
So we could, you know, stuff
And that would
could
be
increase
with
a little
fee
bit.
increases.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so, well, I appreciate you listening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up. Appoint and authorize a chief procurement officer. Do you want to talk about that, or?
Yes, since Chris retired, we don't have technically a procurement officer, and there is some training that goes along with it. Holly does have that training. I would suggest that you appoint her chief procurement officer so that we can get the RFPs out and RFQs out that we need to
Okay.
get bids.
All right.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
Motion?
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we appoint Holly to the chief procurement officer. to Town
I'll
of
second,
Granby.
yeah, I'll second that motion. I'll second that emotion, yeah.
That too.
Bring a little bit of the temptations into the picture here. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. I checked with town council today, who's got an earful, and we'll continue to get an earful later on. We can do common vics as an omnibus thing, so you can read all of them and we can vote on all of them at once.
I know we can,
We never seem to.
because we
There's different-
got to a point where, when'd you show up here?
I know, he came in stealth mode.
Guys, the shadow knows.
Wow.
Jeez.
I was like, he's late. I'm looking at my watch, I didn't see you back there.
I didn't say anything bad about you.
Come closer.
No, like I said, I think we got to a point before that, who the clerk was at that time, like reading everything completely out. So that's, you know, it's not right or wrong, we just started doing it that way.
So, do you want to continue that way? You want to do the?
I'm okay just reading them all out and then voting on them.
Yeah.
Unless there's a concern not to vote on one of them.
Certainly, if there was any discussion about one of them,
Yeah,
kind of like what we do at town meeting.
put it on
Yes.
the side. Yeah.
We can do that with warrants too, like because not much to discuss there. All right.
Well, I think the warrants we should read out completely and vote on them at that point in time. It's just,
Well, we could read them out completely, just do them as a group if there's a lot of them. I mean, if there's only two, it doesn't really matter, but
no, I'm not trying to, I mean,
I'm trying to speed the plow here.
I get that, but the extra 10 minutes, I think it's more appropriate to read the entire thing out and vote on it.
You
especially the-
young people don't need your beauty sleep like some of us older people.
I'm not retired, so I do need my sleep. so.
Yeah, I wish I was retired at this point.
All right, so, let's see what we got here, right? We got some stuff. Warrants. Minutes. Where are the common vic licenses, and am I missing
They're in
them?
that first one.
This one?
Yeah, right behind all those. Over there.
You are absolutely correct. All right, we have a common vic license for Deer Creek Farm LLC at 193 Amherst Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. Motion is to approve that. And we also have a license for entertainment for Jonathan and Naomi Samonic, does business at Deer Creek Farm, 193 Amherst Street, Granby, Mass. And lastly, common vic license for Mad Eats Food Truck, 107R Carver Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. The motion to approve the two common vic license and the entertainment license. That's
Can
right.
I just speak of the select board, I'm sorry, the fire chief had to leave. He has not had a chance to inspect
The food truck?
the food truck. and he was requesting that you hold off on issuing that. He originally told Holly go forward with it,
Yep.
sent it up, but then he is still waiting on inspections. He thought maybe this would move along, and he has not been able to inspect that truck.
Okay. Then I will rescind my motion to approve the common vic license for Matt Eats Food Truck.
So, ready?
Yeah?
I'll second that motion. Any more discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All righty.
So that was approving the Deer Creek ones, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And Maddie's is not tabled or whatever. All right. West Street building projects?
I'm
So-
on the agenda now. My turn?
It says, yes, update concerning West Street building project. We already approved your poll. I hope you're happy.
Yes, very happy, I heard that. Just to let you guys know, we had a kickoff meeting on Friday with the OPM architect and GC and the various players. So the project has started. I know the GC is meeting on Friday with the various subcontractors, I believe, in the building to start that moving. We've done all the work, or he's doing the work currently to get the permits, and then we have 10 days for abatement, just before abatement can start pursuant to the mass laws. So we are cooking with the West Street School.
Cooking with gas, huh?
We are. And then also, I wanted to talk to you about having a groundbreaking ceremony. We're having a whole committee meeting, just a West Street committee on next week. So I'll talk with them about it, but I'm thinking March 3rd, because that's the first time the construction crew's gonna have their meeting. And the OPM will be coming as well as the architects, so I don't wanna make them come in sooner and be charged for that. So we can do it all in one day. So I'm thinking March 3rd.
At a particular time?
No, I haven't talked to the committee about it yet, but that is, I know on March 3rd, there's a 10 o'clock meeting, which I think will be switched to 11 o'clock. So we already have a meeting at 11 o'clock with all the players. So we can do it before, we can do it after, I don't.
Probably warmer after.
Well, March 3rd, yeah, right around the corner. You're right, it'll be warmer and hopefully sunny. So, is there anybody in particular you want me to invite, other than
If it's in the day, I may not be able to make it, but
you will or will not?
may not.
That's what I was hoping
Get your wish.
Not able to make it or make it?
for.
What were you hoping for?
Him not to be there, no, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, what time could you be there? You know what I mean? Like, there should probably be a representative from the select
I
board.
mean, should we be doing it in the middle of the day or toward the afternoon, you know what I mean? Or
I think they're normally
after?
done in the middle of the day. The library was done,
Yeah, school was done in the middle of the day.
right? I mean, you know, because these people coming in are workers. So we don't want them to come at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. If I have to.
I mean, I don't know, I mean, Dave's not here, so we can't ask him. I don't know if he's working yet.
Yeah, he
I'll
probably
be
will
back
be.
to work.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to take a day off, I will.
I can figure, I mean, depending what I have going on for the day, I might be able to figure, slide up here for a little bit. It's not gonna take long anyways.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in particular you want me to invite when we?
We should certainly invite our electeds, Omar, Mindy, and Jake. They should be invited. I don't know, anybody else? Like, Chris?
Martin?
Hmm?
Sure.
I mean, because he was part of the project at the beginning. I don't know, I can't think of anybody else personally, but.
No, we can work on that, and
Yeah,
if you guys think of something, send us a text,
Yeah,
or a list, and at some point I'll reach out and individually let you guys know who else we
Yeah.
add to the list.
I mean, it'd be nice to have, you know, the people from the town there as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But
It'd be nice to what?
have people from the town there, I mean, not just the representatives from the town, but actually town people there to,
Oh, yeah, we'll
To kick it
publicize
off,
it.
yeah.
We'll publicize it, but,
So with that said, I think if, to Mark's point too, if you're a little later in the afternoon, you might get more people to be there versus, maybe a 3 o'clock thing or something like that, I don't know.
I'm trying to think back to the school groundbreaking. And because it was MSBA, we had we're not gonna invite the
Right.
treasurer of the
And the
state.
library had the library representative.
Yeah,
Right, this would be town, because this, we
Yeah, it
don't
would just be
have
town, but we did have, the
Yeah.
elected representatives
Yeah.
at the time, because Eric Lesser was there, Solomon Goldstein Rose, I
I
think
can
was the
send
rep
them
at the
a
time.
formal letter or an email. I mean, it's right around the corner, so I'm not sure a letter will be opened in time.
Yeah, I would, definitely email them. And if you have a problem, just let me know.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks. It's always a pleasure to see you.
And the only other thing is I wanted to clarify, Glenn, last meeting you asked what the total on the contract was, and I was thinking what the total allotted was with all the other fees and things that we're working
Yep.
on. So the contract that was signed the other day was $4.985 million is what the contract is for. And the other
For
stuff.
construction.
For the
Yeah.
construction contract, where the rest of that money that is set aside has to do with the architect and OPM and contingencies and things like that, so.
Right.
I just wanted to clarify that that's what the contract was.
Thank you.
Yep.
And that's for 9 months, 275 days.
All right. Let's get it
For
done.
some reason, 9 months sounds a lot longer than 275 days.
It does, but it's not. We
I
can't.
know.
Just think it's giving birth to a town hall.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Lynn. All right, so discussion and possible action concerning the update hazard mitigation plan. Anybody know anything about that? No, okay, I wanted it on the agenda, but I guess,
You asked to put it on
Who
there.
put it
but I
on the
didn't know.
agenda?
Kathy Leonard had sent me something. I don't, we'll put it on the next meeting.
Yes.
Next meeting.
I'll check in with her.
Okay, correspondence,
I don't think we have any.
departmental
On the
reports.
file. I had to say that the departmental reports in the minutes, I'd say we just postpone that to our next meeting. So Dave's here, so if he has any
Okay.
questions regards to it.
Warrants,
Yeah, we got some of those. All right, I'll make a motion to approve warrant PR 50S, the amount of $284,997.59.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Nope. All those in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve warrant number PR 23 in the amount of $114,190.98.
And I'll second that. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve warrant number 0049S in the amount of $125,122.28.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye. You're gonna have to send those back, Mark. I only signed the first page. I
Okay.
just realized that.
Yeah, well, it's, all right, I'm known for not making motions and not taking votes and stuff like that afterwards, so.
This is, what's here? Encumbered and telephone. Yeah, but I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
Is that Chris's encumbrance report?
Yeah.
That's exactly what, yes.
Yeah,
Did that, Chris has gotten that all caught up?
so it's okay. All right.
It probably came, a lot of that probably came out of the old systems, that's why it looks.
All right, I'll make a motion that the select board hereby authorize the accountant to encumber into general fund $796,283.06, or 6 cents, for wage and salary accounts, which includes funds for all personnel submitting payroll documentation directly to the select board of $37,644.35 for the expenses, and $7,358,380.94 for capital. All is described and more specifically below. So the list of everything below. Total capital is $7,358,380.94. The total encumbrance is $8,192,508.35.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All's in favor?
Aye. I did a lot of work. We caught up on that. Lastly, I'll make a motion to approve warrant number 0049 in the amount of $851,251.48.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town administrator's report.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's focused exactly on what you see there. You got the encumbrance report that Chris finished up. He filed our Schedule A. He also filed a spreadsheet that needs to be done for certifying our free cash, so that has all been submitted, and we should get our certified free cash number shortly. He'll be prepared for the auditors that come in March, April. And his next big step is working on the FY27 budget. So next meeting, when Dave is here, we'll have to schedule some off dates for you folks to get together with department heads to go over the budget. So the budget's due, everybody's budget is due to town hall here for Friday, March 6th, and then we'll get working on that from there. I know the TA search committee had their first meeting last week. They have another meeting tomorrow. And I believe they hope to be interviewing by early March.
Okay, good. I know I asked you about this, Forge Pond.
Forge Pond, we're waiting to hear back, trying to schedule a meeting with Dave Desilets, myself and Chris, with Dave Lerner, I think his name was.
Leonard, yep.
Yep. To see what we have for options. The Army Corps of Engineers is working on the permitting. The biggest thing now is what's available for grants. It does not sound like the grants are as reimbursable as they used to be.
Yep.
Had a quick email we got last week, but we have not met yet. It sounds like the max the town could get is maybe $1 million, and we're probably looking at a $3 million dam project. So that's just rough numbers.
Yep.
Once we have another meeting, we'll get together and I'll have Dave come in, or at least him or whoever from conservation, and we can get some more numbers. But yeah, the grants are not as good as they used to be, where I guess at one point it was a 25-75 match or something like that back in the day.
Everybody's running out of money.
Right.
Yeah, it's all going on insurance. Okay, anything else?
No, that's, again, we're waiting to hear back from the insurance trust is gathering their numbers.
Yep.
We're trying to get some more information from others. I'm gonna reach out to Belchertown and see if they've made any decisions.
All right. Thanks, chief. we're gonna sign papers here for a little bit, and then we're gonna have an executive session.
Signature there.
I think when it comes to signatures, people would probably vote yours the best.
Well, you're still talking to, I did meet with Omar today. He
Omar,
came,
yeah.
yep, he came in to say hi, and I did talk to him about the delineators, to remind him that the DOT had talked about those in the fall, and we have to do something down at the corners, or the state has to do something at
So,
the corners.
just for information for anybody who might be watching the movie, yeah, the meeting.
Sorry, yeah. for sure.
Five Corners is not the,
Don't you mean for everybody watching the meeting?
Yeah.
That might be watching the meeting.
Five Corners, as everybody knows, is a disaster in terms of traffic. I think over the years, the amount of traffic's increased, the amount of accidents. It seems like we almost average one a week,
At least.
and people have been critically injured. So one of the things, I guess, was this a request on our part that they put in delineators, which have also been called sticks, but you see them, they're kind of reflective, they stick up, and they don't really damage your car if you run over them, but it would prevent people from taking, is it the left hand, it would be if you're going toward Belchertown, taking the left-hand turn into Dunkin' Donuts, which is proven to be disastrous for people I know. Like critically injured people because of that dangerous turn. So that's something, somebody contacted me and asked me if there's anything we could do. I looked into it, it seems like things are already in motion. We just have to make sure that the state keeps up its end of the bargain.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the select board, obviously, when this was all being planned for DOT, and the select board was against it at that time.
I remember that too, I think I was on it
And
at
the
the
chief
time.
at the time was against it as well.
Yep, and they didn't take any of your advisement at all. I told them so when we had the closeout meeting down there, they wanted praise on what they did. I said it was a disaster.
Yeah.
You paved a disaster.
Yeah,
Did not make it better at all,
No,
made it
not at
worse.
all.
Dave DeRozier was like,
And that was our concern when they were
50
doing it too. We raised all the concerns and flags about it.
Yep.
The select board spoke against it, the chief of police at the time spoke against it. And Dave Roser spoke
Yep,
against
and
it.
then the engineers did what they wanted, and this is what we got.
yep, Boston bureaucrats, that's what we got. All right, so are you ready for the next part?
Sure.
It'll be letter Q.
All right. I'll make a motion. Oh, actually, that's your thing to do, as the chair.
Okay, so we're gonna go into, I never get this right, hang on. Let me get my little script here. We're going to enter into executive session for, and I'll read the specifics here. We're going to vote to enter executive session per Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to act under the authority of any general law, specifically Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 22F, to discuss the minutes of the executive session on December 1st, 2025. So we're going to leave vote and leave executive session of open session to go into executive session. Then we will close executive session when we're done, and we will open the meeting just to adjourn. Is that okay? Okay. You weren't even listening. All right, so can we have a motion to?
Just need a roll call vote now.
Right, you just did the motion.
Just do a roll. Just do a roll. What's that?
After you discuss it and come out of the executive session, you'll need to go back into open to vote on those executive session minutes on whether or not to release them.
Yeah. So our vote to whether to approve the minutes is going to be done in open session, is that correct?
Yeah, we don't have to do it today.
Right.
We can do it at our next meeting. I like and I say that because I like for David to be here too.
I suppose it all depends on what the vote is.
Yeah.
How the board decides yay or nay. Under section 22, if it's determined that they're still protected under executive session, you would then, at the next meeting, state that. So that's how the end of 22F reads.
Okay, so motion to go into, or no, sorry,
Just go into a roll call vote.
okay. Dale, aye.
Sexton, aye.
All right, so we're now in executive session.